Now we're going to take you guys through a hero turn and a villain turn so you can see how things play out. The first thing you do during the start of your turn is draw 6 cards. These cards are normally not exposed, but for the purposes of this demonstration, we're going to keep everything revealed so everybody can see. Now comes the start phase. During the start phase, you're going to be able to play up to 3 cards that mention having a start phase effect. The first card that our character Mary is going to play is the Art Cannon, which gives her an additional 3 martial chips. We're going to take those from the chip bank and add them to her stack. This card then goes to the discard pile. Mary is also going to play this card here, Emerging in Elegance. It's going to cost her 1 point of her persistence, but she's going to be able to add 2 chips to any one pool of her choice. She will take 2 evasion chips. These chips will be used later during the game. The next phase is the exploration phase. The characters may move 1 space if they choose to. She's going to stay in this particular space because it is part of her mission, so she's already where she needs to be. Then she may delve. Delving is exploring the side quests in a city for minor benefit and sometimes minor consequences. Her delve is the Iron Eye Opens. This particular card, all heroes draw 1 additional asset card. All villains discard 1 asset card. And then Mary may draw the next card in the deck here and deal with that. She's going to choose not to. She is going to use her chips and resources for the following phase, which is the adventure phase. During the adventure phase, you may choose to either lay low and regain health and chips, or begin one of your missions, your endeavors. She is going to attempt the first step of her mission, which is deliver a relic. This particular one has a difficulty of 2 savvy. These difficulty are given to the villain, and they are chips that he can use to oppose her action. The villain then lays the first card in the challenge. He will put a card face down on Savvy. Mary will then lay a card face down on Savvy as well. Play then goes to the villain. The villain has no more cards that he wants to play during his turn. Mary may continue to lay cards if she chooses. She is not going to lay any more cards. Now comes chips. The villain's 2 challenge chips are already committed, and based on the rules of the challenge, he is not allowed to commit any more chips. Mary is going to commit her savvy chip and use her resource of 1 to commit one of those chips as well. Now comes the reveal. The villain has 2 plus these 2 chips for a total of 4. Mary has 2 plus these 2 chips for a total of 4. In this particular scenario, the challenge reads that all ties go to the hero. Mary wins this particular challenge, and the benefit is that she gains 1 ingenuity chip and 1 asset card, and then moves to Proclamation Parish. Next is the end phase, when you discard down to your maximum hand size, which is 6 cards. Mary has 5 cards. She does not need to discard anything. She also has no cards in play that would require her to discard them at the end of the turn. Play would then pass to one of the villains. And now begins a villain turn. A villain turn plays very similarly to a hero's turn. We're going to take you through that. The first thing a villain is going to do is draw up to its starting hand size, which is 6 cards. So the first thing Bart Stark is going to do during his start phase is play Raise an Army to gain 2 Marshall chips and draw an asset card of his choice. This is going to move to his discard pile, and he's going to draw 1 asset card. The next card he's going to use during his turn is Diplomatic Immunity. He's going to gain 1 Savvy chip, and he's going to be able to cycle the top 2 cards of any deck. That is his Savvy chip, and he's going to look at the top 2 cards of this deck and decide whether they stay on top or bottom. He's going to move both of them to the bottom. This then moves to the discard pile. He is then, for his last card in the start phase, going to play You Are Broken. This forces a target hero to discard 1 asset card of their choice. Mary Coldridge is going to discard a card. Villains then move to the exploration phase as well. In the villain exploration phase, they have the same option to move 1 space, which Bart Stark will do. He's going to move into Nightfall's dock. They then have the option to torment the heroes by drawing the top card of the torment deck and choosing which hero it may affect or dealing with any immediate effects that should arise. The top card is It's a Trap. This has a difficulty of 4, and he is going to choose to have it target Mary Coldridge. 4 difficulty chips are going to be added to Bart Stark's total. And now Mary Coldridge and Bart Stark are going to face off in this particular challenge. Mary must lay the first card down. She is going to lay a card face down in the evasion slot. Bart Stark is going to lay a card face down in evasion as well. Mary is going to choose not to play any additional cards. Bart Stark has the same option, and he is going to pass on card play as well. Now comes chips. Based on the rules of this particular challenge, the only chips that Bart Stark may use are his challenge chips, which are already committed. Mary has the option to put her chips in as well. She's going to choose to wager 2 of them. Now comes the reveal. Bart had a 3 plus his 4 challenge chips for a total of 7. Mary has a 2 plus her 2 challenge chips for a total of 4. Now, the villain is going to choose these chips that were wagered, and they are going to go back to the bank because Mary lost the challenge and wagered chips. Mary must also deal with the consequences of the loss of this particular challenge, which the hero must choose one of the following: to suffer a loss of 3 persistence, or to lose 4 chips from any combination of characteristic pools. Mary is going to choose to lose chips. She is going to lose just 4 of her Marshall chips because she has an excess of them. These cards then move to the discard pile, back to the bank, and now Bart Stark moves on to his adventure phase. During the adventure phase, Bart has the same options that a hero does, which is to pursue their mission at hand, their scheme, that is called for a villain, or to lay low. Bart Stark is going to choose to lay low. He does not have enough resources to accomplish his particular mission, so he is going to lay low. And when you lay low, you gain 1 chip in every pool, and you would regain 2 health, 2 persistence if you were missing them. Bart Stark is already at full. Now comes the end phase. Bart Stark would be able to discard any cards that he wanted from his hand if he did not want them, to make room for additional cards later on in the game, or to end any effects that say they need to end at this particular time. Bart Stark does not need to do either of those. Play would now pass to a hero.